Longtime Sylacauga police officer and law enforcement agent Dallas Davenport has announced his retirement and had his official retirement gathering last week. And Dallas joins us this morning here on Daybreak. Dallas, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
And congratulations on your retirement. And boy, that was a big thing going on over there.
Yes, sir. That was a long part of my life, 48 years.
Yeah. How did you get started in law enforcement?
You know, Jim, I wanted to be a policeman when I was a little boy. When I was at school, I'd see a policeman come by and, I'd look up to him and I thought that was the grandest thing you could be. And then I got to think, if I could just be a friend of a policeman. Mm-hmm. But God bless me so much. He allowed me to get in law enforcement in 1968. The state trooper, when the racetrack come here, the state troopers started a reserve program for the troopers. We had to go to trooper school. Mm-hmm.
That wasn't easy, was it?
No. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Like I say, seen so many changes through the years, so many changes. Jim, when we first started, the troopers had two-door cars, Fords, didn't have a cage in them. We wore a chrome flashlight and bullets on the side, brass bullets. We had brass buttons. We'd have to shine them over there. I mean, as far as looking now, we look tall. We look tall. To get respect, and I still believe this, to get respect, you have to look respectable. Mm-hmm. Like I say, I can remember, Jim, when we first telephone. The car phone, they was in a box. Yeah. I was an investigator. Wow, I was somebody. I had that. Then I got a beeper. Oh boy,
you was in the world.
Yes, sir. I mean, I was a big boy. But technology has gone so far. Yeah. It really has. There's so much technology now. I've learned so much through the years. Some of it has passed me. I love when Sylacauga got computers in the car. I just had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
I mean, these young kids, they grow up with computers.
They know all about them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but I had to I love it. That's great. You can find out and do anything you want to with a computer.
You work for the Sheriff's Department as well.
Yes, sir. I worked 17 years for the Sheriff's Department. I was an investigator 5 years. That's when I got the cell phone and beeper and, God bless me, he allowed me to make a lot of good cases. I'm proud of that. I never sent anybody that wasn't guilty. I got mostly confessions out of it.
Who did you work for?
Jerry Stutter.
Okay.
When I first went to work with Jerry, I asked him, Sheriff. I said, Sheriff, how do you want me to do? You want me to arrest everybody? You can write a lot of tickets, just what you want me to do. He looked at me, he said, Dallas, just put the people in jail that needs to put in jail. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, that's right. And after that, I've always tried to run my career that way. You're not better than anybody else. You are to serve and protect. And that's what it makes it part of it. I love that part of helping people. Some people you help by putting in jail. Some people you help by putting in prison. If you're not helping them, you're helping somebody else. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're helping them.
Yeah. Dallas Davenport, our guest this morning. Dallas recently retired in law enforcement from the Sylacauga Police Department. When you worked with Sheriff Studdard,
yes, sir.
I guess you learned a lot under his leadership.
Oh, yeah. We went 7 years without a turnover. I mean, hey, we wasn't making anything, but boy, we done it because we loved the job. 7 years without a turnover.
Wow. You went to work for the Sylacauga Police Department.
Yes, sir. I went to work in Sylacauga, worked there. I've learned a lot from Sylacauga. I worked under a lot of good leadership in Sylacauga.
Now, people in this area know you mostly from the Sylacauga Police Department. So talk about your time there.
Well, it's been good. The only thing I really wasn't, it's not negative. All my time before, I was used to having the whole county. Mm-hmm. It's hard to be put in sectors.
Yeah.
But, you get to know a lot more people, community police, knowing people. I just like it. You get involved in the community.
Is it in the last 15, 20 years, has it become more violent?
I don't know that it's, yes, not so much, I guess so. Not as much as bad here as it is in other places. Mm-hmm. Bigger cities, I mean, you know, it's, we're not too violent around here. You're going to have that, and it's going to get worse. Things is not going to get...
Now, your relationship with God,
yes,
has been so important to you down through the years.
You know, I couldn't walk out the door without him. And you know what? Don't want to. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, took me a while in life to learn that, but he's the most important. You know, my point in life right now, I want what the Lord wants me to do, because it don't matter what you want to do. It's and I try, and I'm not a preacher, y'all, but I try to put him first in my life. I mess up sometimes, but I try to keep him first in my life. And if you keep him first in your life, things will work out for the better.
Yeah. Were you ever afraid in law enforcement?
Sure. A person that tell you they're not afraid, they're lying. But the difference between being afraid and a coward, he'll run. You'll be afraid and you'll go ahead and you'll do what you got to do. Oh, there's been lots of times I get a bad call, a shooting call or something. I'd pray to myself, now, Lord, you're going to have to help me on this one. Mm-hmm. I need your help. Yeah. Sure, everybody, if they admit it, they've been afraid, but you go on and do what you got to do.
I've heard it said by law enforcement that you know they leave their home every day knowing that something bad could happen out there.
Sure, but you know I didn't dwell on that. Mm-hmm. Hey, you could have a wreck coming to work.
So you kind of get used to it.
Sure. I mean, you know, I loved it. Oh, you know, I guess the highlight of my career was, 71, when the motorcycle gang took over the racetrack, you know, Talladega. Oh, man, that was so much fun. They come up there and they literally took over the racetrack.
What was it, the Outlaws?
The Outlaws. The Outlaws was going to come and have a rumble with the Galloping Geese. The Galloping Geese didn't come, so they just decided they'd take over the racetrack. They did.
A lot of them?
Oh, yes. I don't know. There was several hundred of them. Mm-hmm. And they were shooting at planes. It was bad. They took one guy down through there. He was riding around the back infield. They took him, raped his wife, beat him up. But, you know, that started on Saturday afternoon. But they got, not we, I was just a part of, every trooper in the state of Alabama come to the racetrack.
Wow.
Colonel Lingo was a colonel. And all of us had firearms, and and we surrounded them back there and waiting on a daybreak. And at the crack of daybreak, everybody turned the blue lights on at one time and put a gun on them. They looked up. You know that feeling, you feel like you're either going to get shot or you're going to shoot somebody, because them people don't care. No. They really don't care. But they look around and they said a comment or two and said, we give up, just because of the firepower that was on them. Mm-hmm. You would get dirty searching them. I mean, they didn't care about anything, but the element of surprise and firepower.
So a lot of them went to jail.
Oh, all of them, every one of them. We got buses for the women, and I drove a Floyd and Beasley truck, and we stacked all the men up, standing up, 42-foot trailer. And we carried them to Camp Childersburg. At that time, Childersburg was a road camp, prison. Mm-hmm. We moved when I say we, I was just a part of it.
Sure.
Moved all the prisoners out and took them in there. And I'll never forget a couple of inmates carried some tubs of water over to them, and they was acting just like they was the devil. Because, mm-hmm. Hey, them folks was mm-hmm. me. And they interviewed all of them, done the arrest reports, and one of them says, hey man, I said, let me use the phone. I said, we don't have no phones around here. He said, man, don't tell me that. So you don't get that many troopers together in one night without some kind of communication.
Dallas Davenport, our guest this morning here on Daybreak, retired recently from the Sylacauga Police Department and has announced his candidacy for city council. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But here in Sylacauga, it's a neat town. Been around 13,000 residents for as long as I can remember. What makes Sylacauga so special to you?
The people, you know, I was raised here. I wasn't born here, but I was raised. I just love it. It's my home. I've been here all my life. I love the town. I love the people.
Now, as a law enforcement agent, you came across situations where there were families that you knew and knew them well, and you had to arrest their son or their daughter.
That's right. Yes, sir. But then it goes back to the point that you're helping them. You're either helping them or someone else. I mean, you have to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You especially on domestic violence and things. But you got to use common sense. You know,
how important is that, using common sense?
Common sense is all of it. I mean, you just, you know, by the law, you can arrest somebody for cussing one another. Oh, that, you know.
You'd have a jail full, wouldn't you?
Oh, it really would. You got to use common sense. Treat people like you want to be treated. You're not better than anybody else. Just think about it. It took me a while to learn it. You know, it took a while for my head to swell down and get back into life. But treating people right, using common sense. So I carry my life. I'm a very conservative person. I try to use common sense in my life. But if I don't know something, I don't know it all. I'll go and talk to somebody or other people, and then I'll formulate what's best for me.
We'll tell a story here. Several years ago, there was an accident on Highway 280 out near the Veterans Park, and the emotions were really high. It was a local, well-known community man who was killed in the accident, and the emotions were really high, and a lot of people had gathered there. And I remember Dallas was out there, and so I was just going out there to get a news report if I could, and I remember we had one of the streets blocked off, and this guy on a motorcycle. You remember that guy on the motorcycle?
Yeah.
And you know, everybody was really nervous, and Dallas just kind of took control, got the man stopped, and calmly asked him and said, "Do you have a weapon?" And the man told him, "Yeah." And he asked him where it was, and he got the weapon. And long story short, the guy had a license for it and everything, but it could have been something else. And you talk about that common sense and just taking things as they come.
Oh yeah, but he had already been threatening somebody else. The reason I was pointed out to him. But you watch people, you use common sense to get respect. You give respect. But still, you watch him. I didn't get out and pull my gun on everybody there.
Sure.
I was ready if I had to. Yeah. But yeah, I remember it.
You retired from Sylacauga Police Department, law enforcement, and you have elected to run for city council. Why?
Yes, sir. Because I've served people most all my adult life. And I'm going to keep, I'm not going to just sit down not doing it. And I thought I'd like to be a city council. I feel like I could do a good job. It will be my full-time job. I'm retired. It will be my full-time job. And I'm going to run it on common sense.
What district is it?
5.
Okay. What does that entail? What area does that entail?
Out toward Forest Glen, down Park Street, back at the hospital, back in there. I don't know exact boundary lines yet. Boundary lines. I'm going to have to get down there and find exactly where that's so I can go door to door seeing people.
Well, obviously, we've got a lot of things on the table that need to be seen about in Sylacauga, and I hear it more and more and more. Our streets need addressing, and you being a police officer know that a whole lot more than most do.
Yeah, so we're in pretty bad shape for our streets. But they're in bad shape. We got to work on them. There's lots of things that has to be worked on. But you can just take one thing at a time because it takes money. And, you know, we just...
and you're a conservative person.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm a conservative person. It takes money. Cleanliness. We got to, you know, too, Jim, I feel we need new businesses. We need to grow. But to get part of getting new business is make Sylacauga attractive to people. Mm-hmm. We got to take care of our own people that's already in business. Mm-hmm. You know, you take care of your home front and then try to get somebody to come in. They'll want to come in. But we have a wonderful community. We got a good police department, fire department, a good hospital. We've got a lot of improvements that can be done.
Was there anything that really specifically pushed you toward running for office?
I just thought I'd like to be a city councilman. Mm-hmm. Like I say, I like serving people. I just don't want to sit down and not do anything.
So you went over Miss Patty and she gave you her blessing, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Dallas Davenport, our guest this morning. Dallas is a longtime law enforcement agent here in Talladega County, and he has chosen to run for City Council District number 5. And, you know, Dallas, you continue to, you've always been one, ever since I've known you, to take care of your body pretty well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I can't stop aging, but I can slow it down. I enjoy working out. I get up every morning.
You do that every day?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Except Sunday.
Yeah.
Do a different body part, but go to the hospital or the gym and work out there, spend 2 hours up there every morning. Yeah. When I leave here, that's where I'm going.
I hear you, man. Well, I appreciate you coming by here this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your service to our community, and job well done, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Dallas Davenport, our guest this morning. We got more Daybreak coming up right after this.